Anybody remembers the Pizzagate conspiracy theory? It was that theory as they explained it in Wikipedia. Pizzagate is this debunked conspiracy theory that went viral during the 2016 United States presidential election. You remember that guy that went down and he shot up a place because he thought Democrats were somehow into drinking kids' blood and child trafficking in kids. All these crazy things that Republicans have made up on Democrats. And we all sit down and think, are they crazy? Do they really believe that? Well, we talk a whole lot about projection. And by the way, this story is not, this is a real story about Matt Gaetz, but it's more about the ineptitude about the Republican Party, because they have devolved into such a mess that everything they do now just breeds projection. I mean, it was the Democrats messing with the kids that they thought and doing all these bad things. Well, look at what has happened with Matt Gaetz. The story just keeps getting worse and worse. A Justice Department investigation into representative, according to the New York Times, Matt Gaetz and an indicted Florida politician is focusing on their involvement with multiple women who were recruited online for sex and received cash payments, according to people close to the investigation. But here's the kicker. The authorities have also investigated whether other men connected to Gaetz and Mr. Greensburg had sex with a 17-year-old. With the 17-year-old. Two of the people said Matt Gaetz, 38, was elected to Congress in 2016. The Times has reviewed, this is the funny part, the Times has reviewed receipts from Cash App, a mobile payment app, and Apple Pay that show payments from Mr. Gaetz and Mr. Greenberg to one of the women and a payment from Mr. Greenberg to a second woman. The women told their friends that the payments were for sex with two men, according to two people familiar with the conversations. In the encounter during 2019 and 2020, Mr. Gaetz and Mr. Greenberg instructed the women to meet at certain times and places, often at hotels around Florida, and would tell them the amount of money they were willing to pay according to the messages and interviews. One person said that the men also paid in cash sometimes, withdrawn from a hotel ATM. Some of the men and women took ecstasy, an illegal mood-altering drug, before having sex, including Mr. Gaetz. Two people familiar with the encounters said. This is the law and order party. This is a party of morality. This is the party. Look, the truth is, I don't care what Gaetz does. Now, with the 17-year-old, that is horrendous. But we don't go and micromanage people's lives. But like I've said so many times on our show, projection can be a you-know-what. Because as we're seeing right now, all the things that Republicans continue to attempt to paint Democrats and progressives with, it really turns out they're painting them with all their own sins. As progressives, Democrats try to move the country forward. These guys live in a world of make-believe, in a world of you-know-what. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.